Lucky frame 12. Stephen Maguire to break.
Well, Hazel, they ever played nomination snooker back in the 80s. And no flukes allowed, certainly. Steve Davis wouldn't have won all those World Championships, that's for sure. Isn't that right, Dennis?
Well, that's naughty, Ken. But funny, what he was talking about with Eddie Charlton, I played in that tournament in Australia, and who got the first fluke? Eddie Charlton. And the ball had to come back on the table.
Really? How ironic.
Yeah, it was farcical, really. It was funny, but farcical. I think the rules of snooker are much as they were when Sir Neville Chamberlain wrote them in 1875 in the Uti Club in India. And I think he did a pretty good job then.
Certainly are blessed with this wonderful game and this wonderful final that both players are producing. Great shot. Ironically, that fluke and break from Steve Maguire in the last frame could be a big turning point in this final, believe it or not. I know it's early days, but you just never know. You just never know. Could have been nicer.
5.
That is so unlucky. I mean, what an aggressive shot he played there. Went straight into the reds as he intended. And I thought this one was going to stay over the pocket, but I don't think it cuts. It's a very thin snick required. And he'll be flying back across the table into the reds if he cuts it in. Can't really leave it there, so... Practices with the Wizard of Wisha. That was a thin ball wizard there to cut that in.
Well, he's faced with another very tricky pot here on the black. Cora's very good cueing this. Shaking his head. Sizing it up. Big shot. Great shot. Fantastic pot. And didn't try and just drop it in. Had to play it with speed.
30.
Well, Stephen Maguire's back on fire, that's for sure. Mid-session interval coming up after this frame. The boy said in the studio, if he goes to that interval, sharing the 4 frames, he'll be more than delighted.
Night. 20.
Pot success, 95%. For Steve Maguire, 96% for Ding. It's very, very high indeed. Oh, gone wrong. End of break. Didn't get into the cue ball at all there.
27.
Yeah, I think he thought he could play it with just a delicate little cannon. And it's gone wrong, as you said. This is very difficult. I mean, he could cut this one in, but there's a little gap between the reds, but it's still very awkward cueing. he would need the spider, I would think. He's still looking at it. Don't think he can stretch around. It's quite a stretch, that. He knows the importance of this frame before the mid-session interval, so maybe time to just shut up shop here and not risk that very difficult cut. Not playing the pot here.
Steve Maguire, 27.
Well, he had a big side from Steve Maguire, but the best shot he's ever played. He's lefting a red to the left centre pocket. He can play it in such a way that he won't be leaving anything. He'd be on the black if it goes in. It's a very acute angle. No, not there. Well, I say he wouldn't be leaving anything, but this red didn't expect the cue ball to bounce that far off the cushion. And he's left this red into the left centre pocket.
Yeah, and I think there's a gap between the green and brown for the cue ball. He won't cannon into one of those colours. Got to negotiate the pot first. Yeah, if this goes in, he'll come back towards the blue. He'll definitely get through the gap of the green and brown. I thought he would have rolled it. Maybe he felt if he had rolled it, he was going to cannon one of those, but he's got away with it. And sometimes that makes a vast difference. Now we've got one of those awkward frames with two reds up the other end of the table. The safety area is back behind the black and close to the cushion. It's the player that can get it tight on this cushion behind the black that gains the advantage. Left one, has he? Yeah. He didn't anticipate that red going over the right middle pocket. He had other shots he could have played there, you know, to get the same result. He could have played off the two that are together, the left side of the bunch. But this is quite thin, so it's going to come back up the table. It might come all the way back and be on pink or black.
Played it well. Would have loved to have been straighter on the pink. You could just roll it in and take the red that's closest to it. Got a slight angle. Right. Can he dig down and get into the bunch here? Oh, great shot. That's a wonderful shot. He's on a choice of two reds. Dug down on the cue ball.
Set.
Just to create the angle.
Eight.
Lovely shot as well to be nicely on the black. Now a great chance for Ding for a counter-attack.
Yeah, he would have set a stall out to win this little mini session 3-1. sure that little triangular red's behind the pink where they're available.
Yeah, he's just had a look at the two that are in a line to the right middle, and also the one to the right to see whether you plant. Taking a few shots ahead, so it'll be black.
60.
He would feel red to the right of the pink that's in the open. He has an angle on the black if he wishes to open up those three reds. Oh, he feels there's one to the extreme right, pots into the right centre.
Yeah, he'd worked that out well. He didn't have to risk the cannon because when he puts this, he clears the path for the other two. So he's certainly thinking fairly, that's for sure.
So many players in the game avoid those type of shots, Dennis. So tight these middle pockets, but oh, he's on the hit this, is he? He's okay.
31.
Thought he was over screwing it for the red into the bottom right hand corner pocket, but it pots into the left.
$32. $37.
We saw
38.
a World Championship boxing match last night, Dennis, going round for round. It's very similar out here tonight. These two heavyweights of the Green Bays are going frame for frame.
45.
Ding holding the advantage, of course, but it's excellent snooker, top quality. Stephen Maguire will be hoping for one more chance. It's highly unlikely the way the balls are positioned.
46.
No, those three reds are all available, and he's got the perfect angle on the pink to screw up onto the two that are either side of the green spot. Ahead, so he's still got quite a few pots to secure this frame before the mid-session interval.
Yeah, the good thing for Ding here, he's not going to need this difficult red that's close to the left centre pocket. He can accumulate enough points. Just going to get the cue ball cleaned. He's having a look at the score. He's doing his calculations.
There because of the way he was going to play that shot. And that's the type of shot that you do
58.
sometimes get a heavy contact.
$59.
He has knocked some breaks in. Started off with 48 and 47, then 56. And then back-to-back centuries. He's also had a 66, 83.
64.
He's certainly getting back to his best. As we said, he's had a little bit of a lean spell over the last couple of years, but no doubt back to some of his best snooker as that red goes in. Puts him 38 points in the lead. Wanted the cue ball to be closer to the brown so he could pot the yellow and try and bring that red out, but he's 38 points in the lead and just 35 remaining. So ideally, if he pots the yellow, Stephen Maguire would need 2 snookers.
Two snookers it is, but with it being the first to 10, okay, Steve Maguire is going to be 8-4
67.
behind, but you always felt that as long as your opponent needed 2 frames, you were in with a chance.
Definitely, without a shadow of a doubt.
And Junhui, 67.
Maguire snookers. Junhui will hold an 8 frames to 4 lead. But yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of snooker left in this match, I feel. Steve Maguire's already shown a lot of heart in this match, and particularly from 4-0 down.
Well, that's a pretty good effort, not quite. But he needed 3 snookers in one of the frames this afternoon, got 2 of them, and gave himself a chance. He only needs 2 snookers, and the balls are nicely placed for the snookers. The only thing is your opponent can get a snooker also. Could have played that a lot better. Don't know if he's going to take the risk to come right around the table to try and get him behind the black.
Foul.
Well, Steve Maguire says that's enough, and he's conceded. So it's Junhui who takes a healthy advantage into the mid-session interval. He needs the magic number of 10. He's 2 away. He leads Steve Maguire by 8 frames to 4.